And here we are, one heat pump.
And how long have you had it for?
Just 6 months.
Nigel Murphy has ditched the gas boiler and gone for an electric heat pump. It's working effectively in his well-insulated house, but even with a government grant, it cost him £6,000.
It's not a cheap thing to do, yeah? I mean, if I had an accountant, he'd have told me not to do it, because the payback on it is going to take some years before you get to a break even.
The man who provided Nigel's heat pump says this is a major reason why the pace of installation is so slow.
Families are forced to make a decision between the cost of living and green living. The level of support for heat pumps isn't enough. £5,000 doesn't bridge the gap in the cost between a boiler installation and a new system that's required with a heat pump installation.
This frustration reflected in a scathing new report by the Independent Climate Change Committee, criticising the government's sluggish delivery on home heating, grid upgrades, onshore wind development, tree planting and much more. The Climate Change Committee's report says that while there has been some progress on the sale of new electric cars and renewable power, overall the pace of progress is worryingly slow. And the committee says that it's confidence the government is going to hit its net zero target beyond 2030 is now markedly less than it was a year ago. For the outgoing chairman, it is a squandered opportunity.
It's not just that the United Kingdom has lost its leadership in the world on this issue. It is that the United States, with its remarkable new legislation, the European Union, with its very clear new legislation, and indeed China, doing a huge amount more. They are the ones that are going to get the investment. They are the ones that will get the new green jobs.
The government has defended its record, in particular the decision to encourage new drilling for oil and gas in the North Sea.
About 76% of the energy of the most decarbonised major economy in the world, us, comes from fossil fuels today. There is no button I can press that turns that off tomorrow. And as we will be dependent on oil and gas for decades to come, even as we move to net zero, it makes sense that we should produce it here.
It's just another example of how complicated and challenging it is to decarbonise. Hannah Thomas-Peter, Sky News.